Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone, to Light Language Journey Within, episode number 34. I am super excited to share that Alexandra is here with us today. So, welcome, Alexandra.
Hi,
Could
everyone.
you tell us a little bit about yourself? Maybe introduce yourself to us, please.
Yeah. So I'm a medical doctor. I live in France, and I'm very happy to be here. It's kind of an unorthodox story, yeah, for me to land here in this setting. Yeah. But I feel very grateful for the journey and for everyone who was a part of my journey. Yeah. So here we are
Okay,
on
I'm
Portal Day
so
today.
Yes, it is December
Yeah.
12th, the portal day. Okay, I can't
Yeah.
wait to jump right in and for us to get to know you more. So tell us maybe, how did you actually get into this so-called spirituality or awakening, spiritual awakening or consciousness elevation? Like, how did you get into this? Like, how old were you?
Yeah.
Or maybe
It's
what
a
happened?
yeah. Well, actually, I come from a very religious family. My origin is a priest, and in the Orthodox faith, priests can marry, so they have families and everything. So I was in touch with what we call religion today since forever, actually, and I don't remember asking if I like it or not, or if it's true or not. It was like I was in a box, and everything I was fed, I ate, and whatever they told me, it meant it was true, because it was my family, and I loved my parents. And when you're a child, you kind of believe everything your parents tell you, and you don't ask yourself questions or second guess yourself. This was supposed to be true. And I remember I was during my teenage years, and well, I have a karmic family. It's like I always asked myself if I really was their daughter. I felt like I wasn't a part of that family. And I kind of looked like my mother. And it was obvious that I was a part of that family because the genes were there. So, and genes don't lie. But that question stayed in the back of my mind kind of always. And I was wondering if this is it. Is this it? It looked like finite. It looked like this is it, and you don't ask any questions. And that, for me, it wasn't true. So while I was in Romania, I couldn't say much. I couldn't ask questions, because with my parents, what they say, it was the law. What they said, it was the law. And I couldn't dispute the law. During my residency years, when I started radiology, well, at some point, I wanted to go abroad, because in Romania at that time, to be able to have a good internship in radiology, you needed to have the machines, and CT and MRI machines were expensive back then. So, well, the other country that recognized my diploma was France. So I came to France. And while here, it was like I started from zero. It's like I didn't know anything. I didn't know myself. I didn't know what I was doing. It was like a leap of faith. And call it courage, call it stupidity, but I did it. So I started knowing myself. I started asking myself questions. If I really liked the life I led, if I really liked, I don't know, the clothes I was wearing, how my hair was, how, I don't know, if me walking on this earth was really who I really was. or if it was another person. This is when I can say that my awakening began, because when you start from zero, it's like you start knowing yourself and you build yourself on what you know and on what you discover about yourself. Yeah. So I started going within. I started doing therapy, like energetic therapy. I wasn't only working on my mind, I was working on all that I was. I started discovering my past lives. I started discovering that my childhood was not really the happiest part of my life. Although I used to believe that. And I started seeing myself as a child like the most innocent part of myself. And I discovered that my inner child wanted to save the world. And I had no idea. As a radiologist, we are a part of the diagnostic team. We don't do treatments. We don't give people medicine. And one of the questions I used to ask myself back then was, is this it? This was kind of like the question of my life. Is this it? Does it really end here? Or is there something more? And I started learning about what each organ meant, what each part of our body meant to our body. What did the heart do? What did the brain do? How do this impact our physical bodies? I have a subspecialty, which is pediatric radiology. And it was very interesting because children can heal themselves faster than adults. And I used to ask, why is that? And I realized that children that had their family support can heal themselves faster than children that don't have their family support, or if their parents are more positive, or if they see life like brighter than the other parents, that impacted the children. So for me, that meant that our physical body was always under the influence of what we think and what we feel. So starting from there, actually, I started asking myself, how do my organs feel? How do the way I think about myself and I feel about myself impact myself? So these were the first questions. I don't know, it's not always a question that leads the way. It's the way that leads the question.
Yeah, that's quite interesting because even going back where you said when you were little, you were questioning, am I actually part of this family? Even though you absolutely look very similar
Yeah.
to your mom.
Yeah.
I actually had the same question too. I'm like, am I adopted?
Exactly. This was my question. What if they adopted me?
Yes, yeah. Am I adopted? But then, of course, I look at my mom. I'm like, no, we look very similar. I'm not.
Yeah. And I was like almost sad that I wasn't adopted, because that would have explained a lot.
Yes, yes. But the funny thing is, later on, though, right? Later on,
Yeah.
years and years later, I would say maybe in the last 20 years, 10 years, I realized that my youngest brother actually had the same question. And we never talked about it. And one day he was saying he was looking around looking for adoption papers and he's wondering who was adopted. I was like, oh my God, that's what I
Yeah.
thought, which is like absolutely
Yeah.
hilarious. But you mentioned that so your awakening actually started pretty much when you were an intern. Like
Yes.
you're already in the
Yeah.
radiology program, you're already
Yeah.
becoming a doctor on your path to becoming a
Exactly.
doctor.
Yeah.
So that is actually quite interesting because you mentioned that the first thing you started to do was do some energy work.
Yeah.
So how is that like? Like what prompted you to do that? Because that is absolutely very different from the typical traditional orthodox, like what you said, like where a
Yeah,
physician would think of to go do some energy work. They would be like, no, you go to the doctor if you think you have any issues, or a psychiatrist or whatever.
yeah,
You wouldn't look for energy work. So how did that all start? Like, how did you actually tap into that and decided to do some energy work, and decided to actually even look into your ancestral, like your past and so on and so forth, like, because that's absolutely different from
yeah,
what the so-called norm is in the scientific world. Like, what prompted you to do that?
yeah. One of my sister's friend, actually, she was awakened. She had like she's like she can see energy. And my sister used to tell me about her, how she told her that we come from that we don't only have one life. This was big for me, because in the Orthodox religion you have one life. You get born, you live your life, you die, you go to the source, and that's it. And my sister used to say to me, how come we are not born equal? If we only have one life, we should have the same circumstances where we are born. Why people are not born equal? Why someone is born poor, someone is born, I don't know, rich? Why someone does a certain job, why someone else chooses something else, if we have the same starting point? Because this is what religion says, that we all have the same starting point, which wasn't true. So when I kind of understood, like on a heart level, that this could be possible, I wasn't saying that this was possible, I wasn't believing back then, but I was wondering, what if this is possible? And the what if questions opens up a lot of doors, actually. And this friend of my sister, she still has, well, she can see past, future. She doesn't only live in the present like the rest of us, or how we are supposed to live, or how I thought we are supposed to live. And a lot of things she told me about me and my sister, because me and my sister, well, it's only the two of us, and we both have had the same questions. We both starting searching, and we were talking to each other. We couldn't talk about all this with our parents, but we could talk to each other. And she used to give me a lot of pertinent answers about how this life works, or is this the only one? Is this our only life? And this friend of my sister referred to me to, actually, she's a psychiatrist. She lives in Berlin, and she says that she has a wider understanding about life and about what happens to ourselves. So I went to see her, and she, not only that she can work with energy, but she starts talking to you from a very mental point of view, like a psychiatrist. She analyzes and everything, but she analyzes you by asking you questions. So actually, you analyze yourself. And while she was asking me all these questions, it's like a whole world opened up for me. When I was in her practice, it's like the relationship with my parents, I starting understanding that this is not from this lifetime. I started seeing scenes that I haven't seen before. It's like, and it's not like I'm seeing a movie or anything. It's like it's in the back of my mind, and it gets projected on a screen, and I see what's happening, and I'm not crazy, basically. And this is how I tapped into my past lives. It's like by asking myself questions about this one, I could go into circumstances from my past lives when all of this started. And this is how I started believing that this is more than this. This life is more than 3D. This life is more than what we experience. We experience on a plain level here and now. So this is how I started energy work. By
Okay.
experiencing, by getting this experience from myself. No one else told me what I was supposed to see or do or talk, or it's like I experienced this for myself.
Yes, and it makes a huge difference when you
Yes.
actually have someone that you trust, like your
Yeah.
sister's good friend,
Yeah.
who is there to support you. And plus, they're also in the same industry, a psychiatrist, which
Mm.
helps, right?
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
you would think this is not so abnormal, right?
No.
Absolutely, energy is there. Absolutely, people can see
Yeah.
energy, and and even past lives, you
Mm.
literally experienced and saw it through
Yeah.
her questions to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it does make a huge difference when you do
Mm.
have to support like that. I guess it's kind of related to what you said about the pediatric radiology, where you found that kids with parents that are supportive, they
Yeah.
can actually heal a lot faster.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sure.
That's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And till this day, are you able to talk to your parents about this?
No. No. No, and it's okay. I've made peace with it because I
Yeah.
wanted to share with them. At first, I wanted to share with them. They were the people who are the closest to me up until that moment. But no, I I can't be who I am and let them be who they are. And this is fine for this lifetime. This is their life path. It's it is like it is. Yeah. I do my own thing and they do their own thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
And what about with your colleagues and your friends?
With my friends, I have to say that I kind of always searched for a group of friends that could hear me and see me as I am. And I admit that I changed lots of places in France up until 2019. And I felt like I was looking for myself, but actually, I was looking for the right place for myself in this world. And the friends I have now, I can be exactly who I am with them. And I feel heard and seen and loved for who I am. And this is big for me because I've lived a lot of my life alone because I didn't feel that people could see me or hear me, or I couldn't have a conversation like I want to have, not just talk about the weather and what did you do last evening, did you see I don't know what movie. This is not a conversation for me. Yes, I can talk about everything, but this is like superficial. I like talking about deep things. I like that with my friends, whatever we're talking about, we always kind of start talking about the deep things that matter for us. These are people who are looking for themselves and who are on this path on different levels because we all have our level and our moment. And yeah, but they are there with me. And it's a blessing to have these people in my life.
It's absolutely, I agree. It is such a blessing because many people don't have that, right? They don't have that at all, and they feel like they have to be someone else when they're with
Yeah,
their friends, you know.
yeah,
And I'm super lucky as well. I am able to be who I am with my friends, even though they're not quite into spirituality or the awakening, but they try to they're open minded
Yeah,
and
that's very
they're
important.
yeah, they're open-minded, and they just let me talk the way that I talk, the way that I am, which is quite cool.
Yeah,
And I am absolutely super grateful and lucky as well. And I'm just like you too, where I I'm not really interested in talking about the weather or, this and that. Like, how long can you
yeah,
actually talk about those superficial stuff,
exactly.
right? Yeah,
This is
because
the first 2 minutes, and then
yeah,
what?
it's true, right? First 2 minutes, and I'm going, okay, yeah, that's it. I can't I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, no, this is it for me.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because I want to
Yeah,
hear about you, like, not
exactly.
right, not like egotistical, not like whatever, but no, like truly, like what's going on with you? How are you, like,
Yeah.
something that's more substantial, right?
Yes.
That's more
Yeah.
meaningful. That's deeper. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally, absolutely enjoy that kind of conversation as
Yeah.
well. So,
Yeah.
how did you actually come across light language?
Yeah. That's another story, because I always knew, well, when I first stepped into spirituality, I kind of knew that my mission wasn't only to be a doctor. As I said, as a radiologist, I only do diagnosis. I don't do anything else. And for me, this was not enough. And I knew I could do more than this. Not that I could do better. I could do more than this. I can be something more for the people in front of me. So I started learning, what do organs mean? What emotions stay in which organ? Why? How does it work? Um, and then I started doing a lot of classes. Well, the first course I did was with IIN in New York. It was an online class. I did it for 6 months in order to be a coach. I told myself, well, in order to have a diploma, you have to have something to put on it. So I did that, and I passed the exam and everything. And when I became a coach, I was asking, because there are so many things you can coach people on, which one is my niche? What am I doing now? I can do a lot of stuff, but I don't want to be pretty good in a lot of stuff. I want to be good in something. So, yeah, then I started learning about Tibetan medicine. I did 1 year of Tibetan medicine, but that didn't really align with me. It was too strict for who I am. It's like they were trying to, or I felt like I was getting into another box. And me and boxes, we don't do well. So I had to be out of the box. Yeah, that course was 3 years. So after the
Wow.
first year, I said, well, that's enough for me. I got what I came for, and this is it. Then I started learning Ayurveda, and I really connected with what's happening in Ayurveda, because Ayurveda sees the physical body as a part of the spirituality. And this went well with me, because I have a very nice appreciation for our physical body. But then I understood that our physical bodies are our best barometers. We can always ask our body what feels, where does it feel, how does it feel? And our body will always answer, if we have the right connection to it, of course. And one day I was scrolling through Facebook and I found you. And actually, it was a post that said, well, if you want to test what light language is, we need 3 volunteers for the practicum of your 2 students. And I was the first one to respond. And this is weird, because this never happens to me. I like being the first one, but I'm never the first one to answer a post on Facebook or something. And I came online when this was happening. And actually, I kind of meditated before, and I asked my physical body to tell me if this is okay with it or not. And when your students tapped into me, I actually felt in my physical body what the ailments were, what they are seeing, what are they tapping into. And one of your students said something that no one knows, and it's about my spleen and the consistency of my blood. And well, no one could know this because only a few people know this about me. And a few people, I mean my sister and my best friend. And they couldn't have known this. And it was very interesting, not because of the wow factor of it, but because my physical body felt it. And if it feels good in my physical body, then I'm all for it. And actually, when I was a child, I used to wake up, I had very vivid dreams. And one time I woke up and I was speaking a language I don't know. This doesn't exist on planet Earth right now. And I loved this language. And I was telling myself that I should speak it more so I won't forget it. Of course, in a few minutes after you get up, you forget kind of everything that you dream about, unless it's something that impacted you a lot. But this stayed with me, and I was wondering from time to time, where this language come from? Really, where did this language come from? And when we started working together, and I discovered my light language, it was like I was coming home. I was finally coming home. This is what I've always known. This was within me all along, and this is me. It was like I was hiding from myself up until that moment. And that was the moment when I was revealing myself to myself. And it felt home. Yeah. So this is my story with light language. The more I do it, the more it feels like it's mine, like it's something that I used to speak, I used to do. It's like the more I do it, the more it reveals itself to me. It's like when you learn a foreign language, the more you speak it, the more you study it, the more you love it, the more it feels like it's a part of yourself. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's like a remembrance, right?
Exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
you tap into your
Yeah.
remembrance of who
Yeah.
you are, right? Not
Exactly.
who you
Yeah.
were, but who you are, who you
Yeah.
are. Yeah,
True.
so it's such a great feeling to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause,
It is.
yeah, 'cause that time was, pretty everything is kind of synchronistic, right? Like what you said, the way that I put out the post, and literally right away, you did respond right away. And
Yeah.
yeah, and we got on and did the session with my students. And later, you also signed up as well. So which is amazing, incredible, because it will be so good if more physicians actually believe in energy work, because they are able to do all the sciencey stuff, so to speak,
Yeah.
or the
Yeah.
physician aspect where people, meaning humans in
Yeah.
general, believe in,
Yeah.
right? So they do
Yeah.
believe what physicians say. So if physicians are able to do energy work as well on top of
Of
whatever
course.
it is that they do,
Yeah.
that'll be incredible. It's like
Yeah.
what you're doing, right? What you're doing
Yeah.
right now, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
It
Yeah.
feels like the future of medicine is
Yes.
when the mind will rejoin the heart, because this is what it is. The science stuff is a mind base, and the energy work is heart base. We work with all of it, but yeah, this is the future of medicine, and the science stops at some point. You cannot go any further. It's like I have a lot of people who tell me, I don't know what's happening to me. I keep getting this medicine and it doesn't work. It's like it comes back. The pain comes back. I don't know what I feel comes back. And it's not resolved. It's like I'm always in this vicious circle where I feel bad, I take medicine, and I feel bad again, and I take medicine, and I feel bad again, and it goes on and on and on. I have patients from time to time, which I feel they are open enough for me to talk to them. And actually, I tell them what's happening with their organs, with that specific organ. And I don't tell them like I lecture them. It's like I'm asking themselves. I had an old lady who came to me once, and she was in renal insufficiency, and she was very sad. And I told her, well, she was a bit angry at first, and she didn't want to, well, tell me what was really going on with her. It's like patients, when they come, they suppose that I read what their general practitioner says on the paper that they come with, and they are expecting for me to perform the exam and not to talk about anything. So when I saw the energy she came in with, I was telling myself, well, we'll do the exam and she will be on her way. At some point during the exam, I asked her, why is she so sad about? This was the moment when she opened up. She was like an open book. She began to tell me everything that was going wrong in her life. And this was that click for her. She realized what her kidneys, actually. And understanding is the first step into recovery. I didn't have to say a lot. I only asked, why is she so sad? And she wasn't sad, she was angry. Actually, the first layer was anger for her. But when I asked what was behind that anger for her, everything made sense. And what I do is I try to empower people to believe in themselves, because their bodies are their own. I don't have their bodies. It's their answer. It's their body. Their body will tell them what's wrong. And I really, really believe that we can heal ourselves. If we are on the wavelength of healing, we can heal ourselves. And the wavelength is different for every one of us. But when we access it, we can heal ourselves. We don't need anyone, actually. But people don't believe they are that powerful.
Yes,
This
absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, many still don't believe that they're that powerful and they can do this, right? Unfortunately, at this time. Yeah. And honestly, it'll be absolutely incredible if more and more physicians can think like you and actually be able to tap in like you, right? And that'll just be so amazing. But
healing will be possible. Yeah. And that healing will be possible.
Absolutely.
And not because we are doing something, but because patients will really believe that they can do it.
Yes. Yes. And have you actually tried to have conversations like this with your peers and mention anything about energy work, anything about?
I actually, when I talk to them, well, I am who I am. I'm not hiding anything, but I kind of feel the people I can talk to about this and the people that I cannot. I feel the wall. I feel where their mind will start asking, is she crazy?
Yeah.
So I'm not going there. But I have a lot of people I'm talking to about this. And at first I admit I was a bit scared that the patients will think I'm crazy. And the more I talk to them, the more they opened up. And it was like they were waiting for a doctor to tell them all of these. And they were the ones thinking that they are crazy. Yeah, and a lot of them tell me that. Well, I didn't know that we could ask these questions. Well, you cannot ask them with everyone, but with me, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, because people often, they have a knowing, right? They know.
Yeah.
But I always say at the very beginning, they are always waiting for external forces, anything outside of them to confirm
Yeah.
that whatever
Validation.
they're thinking or feeling or knowing is true, because they don't believe
No.
they're that powerful. They don't believe what they're thinking, what they're feeling, whatever it is they know
Yeah.
is truly, it's true. It's not
Yeah.
something that they made up, right? So at the beginning,
Yeah.
especially if a doctor, physician can
Yeah.
confirm such a thing, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, wow, thank you so much for confirming that. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
No.
Yeah, so your patients are so lucky
Mm.
to be able to connect with you that way, right? And just like
Yeah.
what I believe in, before we came here, we are contracted to
Yeah.
help each other,
Of
right,
course.
in whatever way along our journey. Um, so, but I still think they're very lucky to reach you, to be able to receive
Yeah.
whatever it is that they need. But can you tell us a little bit about why radiology?
Well, I didn't choose radiology. Radiology chose me, actually. Well, after you finish medical school, you have a national exam, and with that national exam, you can choose what specialty. Well, you get a number of points, and when it's your turn, you can say, I want this specialty, or to start training in this specialty. And actually, radiology was the last on my list, because, well, I wanted to do ophthalmology and all other, nice specialties that, I don't know, felt interesting to me. And it was one of my parents' friend who was a pediatric surgeon, and he told me, well, put radiology on your list. For a woman is a very nice specialty, because you go to your practice, you do what you have to do, you come home, you don't have patients that wait for you or stay in bed or wait for you to come tomorrow morning. You do your job and you come home. You can have a life outside of your work. This didn't really resonated with me then, but I remembered doing medical school. I did a program where, well, actually, CT scans were kind of new back then, and they used to show us how you can see the physical body, from head to toe, and you can see everything that's going on inside. And I wanted, well, as an ophthalmologist, I was going to be a surgeon, and I was always interested of what's happening on the inside, because on the outside we can see there is a limited things we can see. What's going on the inside, that's more interesting. And with radiology, I can see whatever happens on the inside. Everyone is an open book. There are no secrets there. And I'm all for going within and finding out what's happening. So when it was my turn to choose my specialty. I remember it was allergology. It was one of them, and radiology. And first I said allergology, but this was in a different city from my own. And then I said, no, I'm changing my mind. It's going to be radiology. And I felt it like inside of me, I felt like something came into place. First week into radiology training, I fell in love with the physical body. It was a wonder how we can see on the inside and what's happening on the inside. It was a blessing for me to be able to see like every artery and every pulmonary alveoli. And it was like another world that was opening up in front of my eyes. And I was the one witnessing it. How cool is that? Yeah. So it was love at first sight, actually, for me.
And now you get even another layer on top of that.
Exactly.
Another layer on top of whatever it is that you see with your physical eyes that a radiologist can see. You see another aspect, right? The energetic aspect.
Yeah. Because radiology has its limits too. People come with a lot of ailments and we don't see anything. Well, in 3D, we cannot see anything, but they complain, they have pains, they have questions. And well, it's a thing of mine. I only talk to patients who ask to see me. I don't talk to every one of them because we do a lot of exams and we cannot talk to everyone. So patients who want to see me, I see them because they always need an answer and they are looking for it. Because sadly to say, 75% of people don't look for answers. It's like they are scanning their physical body as if it's someone else's, not their own. People don't really take responsibility for what's happening inside of them. A lot of them. There are only a few people now who start taking responsibility for themselves. So this is why I don't talk to everyone, because most of them don't really want to know what's happening on a deeper level. I can tell them what's happening on the images, but we are not the images. We are much more than that. Yeah. So yeah, I am people who want to talk to me, they always want an answer. And the answer is deeper than what's happening on the physical level.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the way you tap into people is that you're able to see them with your eyes open, right? So you would not be doing anything weird according to people that don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
If you go into an energy session, yes, if you close your eyes, that's normal to tap into people. But if you go into a physician's office, you wouldn't like if the physician actually closed the eyes and tried to tap in, they were like, what are you doing?
Exactly. Do you want me to go out? So you can do your own thing.
Yes, but you're able to actually open your eyes, and as you talk to them, you already see all the different things within their organs, whatever it is that the organs are crying out and say, oh, I need help here, I need help there, there's energy stuck here and there. So that is actually really cool too, right? Really cool. And you can actually incorporate it into your daily work, so to speak, as a doctor. So that part is really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's kind of, I feel in my physical body, I kind of mirror what they are showing me. I feel that their organs, I feel their organs as if they're mine. I know in which part of them there is a problem because I feel it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This is what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're feeling it as opposed to seeing it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because radiology has limits. Little inflammations, we don't see them. We cannot see them with the machines we have now, even if they are very powerful and advanced and everything. No, we cannot see it all. And what I feel is, what I know is, there are a lot of intolerances, and we get intolerance from other people's energy more than, food. But yeah, that there is a lot of food who gives us intolerances, and we cannot see them with the machines we have now. So it's kind of easy for me to ask them a question, because I already know kind of what's happening. Yeah. And I don't give them answers like black on white. I give them questions. I want them to question themselves, what they are eating, what they are doing, how are they feeling. I'm not saying, well, this is what's happening to you. Do you go home and do your work? No, I give them questions. How about you ask yourself, when did that happen? How do you feel about this? How do you react or act on this? And people are very much more open when they can do themselves, because we all want to do it ourselves. We don't want someone to tell us what's going on inside ourselves, because we know on a deeper level, we all know we are powerful. So
Yes,
yeah,
and that also empowers them too, right?
exactly.
They
Yeah.
discover what it is as
Yes.
opposed to they're being told,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's their answers. It's their life. It's their physical body. It's not mine. Yeah. I want them to feel powerful. I want them to know that the key to healing themselves, it's in their hands. It's not in my hands. I have the keys to heal myself. Yeah. But they have them too. And sometimes the easiest answer, it's the most complicated we are looking for, actually. Yeah.
Yes. And so, in addition to being a physician, being a radiologist, do you also offer any energy work? Because I know you do have a practice,
Yeah, I have a coaching practice. Yeah.
yes. So tell us
And
more about that.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
kind of
Actually,
services you offer?
I just started it, actually. Yeah. And yeah, I have it online. I have a site, an internet site. People can connect with me there. I offer emotional coaching. For the moment, I didn't add the light language healing to my site. I will do it, but what I'm offering is emotional coaching, and this is big work. Who wants to do it is big work. It's taking responsibility for themselves. It's knowing themselves, and we don't always like what we find about ourselves. I don't always like what I find about myself, and we are all the same, actually. Yeah. And it takes courage, and responsibility is not something you can do whenever, wherever. It has to be a good mindset. People have to have a good mindset in order to take responsibility for themselves. This is something very big. Yeah.
Is that similar to shadow work?
Yeah, it is similar to shadow work, but I start from a physical point of view. I start from the physical body, and then I go to mind, and then to heart. Yeah. Actually, it's a holistic way of seeing ourselves, but it's kind of from a physician point of view. I start with the physical body because our bodies are our best barometers. They always know. We don't always listen to our bodies. I won't be wrong if I say that we rarely listen to our bodies, and we like to hide a lot of stuff, and then we find ourselves with this disease. No one knows how it came to be. Well, well, deeper. Yeah, we know. how it comes, how it came to be. Yeah.
Yes.
So I start with physical body. I go to emotions, what emotions get stuck in different organs in our physical body. And I stay with people while they feel their emotions. It's a very powerful practice to be able to stay with an emotion and not get swollen by it and not get overwhelmed by it. And then, as Krishnamurti used to say, if we stay long enough with our emotion and the emotion gets seen and heard and felt, it will go away. This is how we liberate ourselves. And I will include light language at the end of some sessions if I feel people need it. I feel a lot of people will need some time before they will need light language. Yeah, you asked me. Well, my site is called Inner Firelight Coaching, and this is because fire is my favorite element. I have a lot of fire in my chart, and I just love it. I was always drawn to fire, like forever, and I'm not always burned by it. I am from time to time. Yeah. So I believe we are made of the four elements, and the fire within us is the one who alchemizes, who always alchemizes what needs to be alchemized. And light language is a very powerful tool to get on the wavelength, on the right wavelength, in order for us to heal ourselves. But as much as I like fire, I like people who take responsibility for themselves. I like courageous people who are ready to do this work, not only to dip their toe in water. And for the moment, the people I work with, they are like this. They want to work on themselves. It's not something they do in their spare time. It's something they are dedicated. They do this because they really believe that the way out is in, actually. Yeah, the more we see on the inside, the more the freer we are. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
And,
I
and, it,
absolutely
and
agree.
it's all about getting out of the different boxes we used to get ourselves into.
Yes. And
Yeah.
speaking of fire, the element, and the color
Mm.
maybe even red, which leads back to my question about your hair.
Yeah. This is why my hair is red.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
And the color came before I realized how much fire there is in my astrological chart.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yes, and
Yeah.
that's why you said it, you feel natural. Like
Yeah.
once you're
Yeah.
wearing, like you have red hair, you're like, oh, this is me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's totally me.
Yeah. My body always shows me before I realize what it showed me.
Yes.
Yeah. And my body knows that I will listen to it. We have an understanding. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll actually include your link in
Yeah.
the
Good.
videos here. Yeah, so people can actually connect with you, right? If
Yeah.
they are
Of
feeling
course.
drawn. Yeah,
Of
and
course.
so we only have about 5 minutes, roughly 5 minutes left. So what I usually do with these journey within, like language journey within episodes, is that we do a collective healing to cap it off.
Okay.
So what we'll do is you'll go first in the
Okay.
collective healing, and I will end it. And so let's do that. Let's help the collective.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Rata 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 tara chiquito ra 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 takarata kara. Pita ra 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 takarata tara chiquito ra takarata ra takarata tara chiquita ra kara. Pita ra 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 tara takarata tara para takarata tara takarata tara chiquita tokoro toro. Pita roto rata rata takarata tara takarata tara takarata tara taparata karata tara takarata tara chiquito totoro. Pitara takarata tara takarata. Pitara takarata tara takarata tara takarata rochigrito ratakarata tapata takarata tara chigrito tatakarata takarata kara. Pitara tarata rata 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 ratakarata tara takara. Pitaroto rata tarata karata tara taparata karata tara takarata tara chigrito ratakarata taparata karata tara takarata tara tarukororo. Pitaro tokoro totoro takarata tarata karata tara chikrita tatarata karata tara chikrito takarata tara parata kororo. Pitarata rata 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 tatarata karata tara tokoro totoro tokoro tokoro totoro. Ka ka ku 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 ka 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 ku 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 ka 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 ku 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 ka ka ku 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 ka. Okay, when you're ready, slowly come back to us and let us know how you feel. So time goes by so fast. Our hour is up, and it was so fun chatting with you, Alexandra. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure with you, Lily.
Yes, it was so fun. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and hope all of you have a Merry Christmas and happy holidays and a happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you very, very soon. And I will definitely post Alexandra's information down in the comments or in the or at the top somewhere. You'll find it, and connect with her if you're called to. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.